And the motivation.
Left me so lonely and I want it back. I want the old me. I'm trying to forget, but things just remind me. I've never had thoughts that control me until something bad. Left me so lonely and I want it back. I want the old me. I'm trying to forget, but things just remind me. I've never had thoughts that control me until something bad. Left me so lonely and I want it back. I want the old me. I'm trying to forget, but things just remind me. I've never had thoughts that control me until something bad. Left me so lonely and I want it back. I want the old me. I'm trying to forget, but things just remind me. I've never had thoughts that control me until something bad. So lonely and I want it back. I want the old me. I'm trying to forget, but things just remind me. I've never had thoughts that control me.
Anyway, should I play more or what?
Yeah, it's gonna be finished soon.
I
Would have said something new about you, I would have let you. Oh wait, hold up. You said what about Shock? I would have let you instantly address him. But he was saying the same bullshit that he says that he's been saying for what? How long y'all been doing this shit? About 5-6 months. It was the same shit. And when he brought your daughter up again, even though you had got mad.
Now, first she was like, she did that on purpose because she wanted to catch him in a lie. Now she's flipping the script, talking about if you would have said something new, I would have said, hold on, and then let me speak. She knows she was wrong. She thought about it, and she's trying to justify why she acted foul. And I'm losing sleep over it. You know, I noticed that from the get-go, and that's why I said I'm done with her. But what she's saying right now is really insulting my intelligence, and I think it's a shame. But I ain't gonna lose sleep over it. You go ahead, feel free, bro. Thank you.
I think it's insulting everybody's intelligence, you know, because nobody's special. To be fair, to do this means you have to do everyone like this. So it just doesn't make any sense. You know, most people would object to that treatment. So why should it be different for you? That's what I don't get. But here we go.
And went off and made a video about me. I checked his ass again about saying that bullshit about your daughter. So I don't know how you took it, that you felt like I was favoring Sarnetta, but every time that nigga got out of pocket on my show, I checked his ass. I just ain't do it the way you felt like I should have did.
Well, no, I did not ask for special treatment. You protected him and gave him the special treatment. He was reading my messages, calling me B, calling me all sorts of profanity, and he even said that I knew. He even said that I knew about the molestation. I'm in Europe. How the heck did I know? I was discovering from 6 months ago. You see, so now you're acting like because he said the same things on other platform, it was okay for him to say it on your platform because it's not new. Sister, that was foul. That was extremely foul. You let the dude insult me for I don't know how long, reading my messages, replying to me when I cannot even respond. And you don't even realize that what you did was foul. If he spoke Sarnetta, he spoke Sarnetta. I'm saying it once again. Fuck Sarnetta and fuck the House of Consciousness. You went on one of Sarnetta's associates, Boom Boom Smash Rockwell, you know what I'm saying, talking about, well, you don't hate Sa, you see. And besides, you're the one who told me that he said my daughter was doing spread eagle, that you were disgusted at that and that he was sick. If he is sick and he talking about my 3-year-old daughter, he accused me of feeding on my 3-year-old daughter, and I showed the text. Why do you have him on your panel for 5 hours and you've been saying fuck Sarnetta? So
really quick, I want to just point out that Sarnetta will always just claim somebody else is doing some sexual deviant shit, but he can't even look at polite, and that's what we're supposed to be talking about. We're supposed to be talking about what's going on. Y'all gotta stop letting this man come between y'all.
Get off the target, man. Like it happens.
This the thing is, I didn't get upset. I did not get upset at anybody about how they handle Sarnetta. I just want the same type of afforded gratitude like I give him, because he can sit up here and act like he's so hurt that Sarnetta said those things about him. But I want to ask him this question. When did you ever click his link when he said the same shit that he was saying about you on my show that he already said previously on his show? When did you click his link?
What? Since that's the exact opposite thing that you do. You don't reward an abuser with your presence to be abused. She's acting like she don't know Sarnetta's panel is a rigged panel. like a rigged card deck. You can't win by going on the panel. It's not what you say. You could be right as right as whatever. You know what I'm saying? Chocolate ice cream if you want, or chocolate, right? You could be right as chocolate as the cocoa bean. You're going to be wrong on that panel because it's a setup. So I don't really get that, man. Shaka, you want to say something about that?
Well, that question was funny, but for the record, I said many times that when I was on JJ 7000 or the Lions Den, and I pulled up, and Sai insulted me right when I was in the chat. And when I got on the panel, because he insulted me, I insulted him back. The lady moderator, she put me off the panel. And he said, "Come to my panel where I can control the bottom." I pulled up on this panel, and he kicked me off. So that's just for the record. But for her to be like, "Why didn't you click his link when you're?" That's deflecting. That has nothing to do with it whatsoever. Yeah.
Check this out. Would you advise a victim of sexual assault to go on the panel?
Of course not. But check this out, Sister Noble.
There about it.
That's like the worst advice in the world. Like I'm talking. That's her. She controls her panel. She doesn't control his panel. And Sister Noble caught a little bit of heat just for speaking on the phone with him privately. Exactly. But here comes the big miss advocate that lets her do it on her own panel for 5 damn hours, and now she want to deflect. Why didn't you put up on his link? I mean, but anyway, just feel free. He's gonna finish. He's gonna be finished.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was a couple of things I wanted to go into, because I noticed this was a teaching moment. I mean, y'all represented what y'all needed to say. I just wanted to add a little bit of wisdom on my end.
Definitely.
Because in the beginning, I was like looking at the title, and my mind just was churning. And at first, I thought it didn't really fit. But then, when you added a little bit of your background and your parents, I looked at it on like it leveled out for me as far as the perception, because I seen where you was aiming at, but then it became even more clear when you started playing y'all conversation between Neo X way before you got to Shaka. I mean, what happens is it shows who's has wisdom over time and knew how to articulate what it was that you was trying to show her. And again, it came out about wisdom, because with wisdom, it tells you when and where to do things. And the fact that she chose to address the situation on a panel that had nothing to do with that showed that she's not mature enough to understand that. And she didn't realize that she did commit wrongs. But the things is, it came out to be, which I spoke on this before, and Shaka brought that out as well. She have to realize, number one, she didn't see that what she was doing morally was wrong because she allowed this guy to come up there. Another wrong came in, the loyalty thing. She didn't realize she was being disloyal, and she didn't realize she was, like Shaka said, betrayal. And then guess what that does? It creates distrust. And like you said, we don't know each other. So when you do, especially in the beginning of these type of scenarios, since we're not in each other's circumference on a day regular, you have to basically continuously show and prove that you're trustworthy. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to do this all the time. Shaka would tell you. Matter of fact, before you get off, put your email again in the back chat, Bennett, so then we can connect on WhatsApp.
Oh yeah.
I talk to Shaka all the time, and I keep forgetting I needed to do that, because it's very important that we constantly rebirth our commitment to each other as men and as brethren and also understanding, like you said, when you're doing something. In this case, you have to always do something that shows that I'm trustworthy, and I'm constantly revamping that every day. I don't forget that. So some people don't understand that. Another thing that I'm not here to add any extras to what you already said, because me personally, I wasn't involved in that particular incident, but I still stand with y'all because I understand it on a bigger level as well as a person-to-person thing. So she has to understand that it's levels to this, and like you pointed out very, very meticulously, and like a surgeon, being an advocate doesn't mean that a person can make mistakes and don't take accountability for the mistakes and then use what happened to them as a reason to say y'all should still back me because this happened to me when I was young. You understand? Because those two have nothing to do with each other, actually. What happens is this, and I'm gonna use myself as an example. If I was in her place and that was y'all, and I value our friendship as well as our advocacy friendship, right? The first thing I would have done, like when I gave matter of fact, I gave a couple of messages to Shaka behind the scenes on the WhatsApp when a lot was going on another live that he was on, I think the other night. And I gave my take on it. And then right after that, I said, I hope I'm not offending you by any of the things that I suggested. You see, because that's already wired in me to make sure that I make sure that I'm being respectful and I'm honoring something that even though I don't think I said anything offensive, I still behaved as if I could have said something that was offensive.
Brother,
True.
You're being attentive,
Can you hear me?
engaged, brother.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Shaka. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just want to say what the brother said is true. It's no cap. He did leave me a separate vocal note to tell me, you know what I'm saying? I hope, and then I replied to you, oh, no, it's all good, no offense taken and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Because actually I knew about the surprise, you know what I'm saying? And I just said there's a surprise coming up, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to say what it was, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but it's true. Yeah, keep going, brother, talk.
All right, so, and again, this comes with mad mistakes. I was not born being so aware and conscious of what I could be doing that's offensive. And so that's the main thing that, that has to be equal stood. And so as I was listening from another point. And again, Mr. Bennett showcased his wisdom, and I was very much in awe of that. And it gave me a whole new perspective because I didn't know he had a background in advocacy or his parents. But what he did was saying that this is what we have to remember. Like you said, the name of the show is so beautiful because most people are aware that, of course, it's already ingrained in us, but we don't realize that treat people how you want to be treated. You have to constantly live in that moment all the time, even if you're not interacting with strangers, even with family and all of that. And a lot of times, like you said, if you around people who are not as aware and conscious of their activities, people like Sarnetta, they don't live in that. And so he's around people that continuously do that. All you got to do is just look at how Sarnetta and them act with his people on the panel and how they come up there. They don't show each other respect and honor. It's fake when they do it. Because soon as you make one of them angry, they go out the window. As soon as they do you dirty, then you get a chance to do it back. Oh, you disrespected me the last time I was up here. But what about when you was being disrespectful to me? So they don't hold each other accountable. They don't care about friendships unless it's monetary or they got some kind of trauma bond or somebody knows some dirtiness in the sense of what Polite did. Now we know that most likely if Sarnetta was on a phone call with Polite and his lawyer, that most 9 times out of 10 that could be illegal because you don't support a case like this. he shouldn't be listening to that unless you involved with the case some kind of way. So that could be illegal. So if you listening to you and your lawyer, which is privy information, that means Sarnetta definitely has more dirt on Polite just off of that alone. And this is what he does. But the point is, when you're trying to talk about treat people how they want to be treated, it's always about, you have to have a sense of self-accountability, and you always have to sometimes understand that if somebody is complaining about something that you've done, you have to be like, okay, I gotta quickly, how do I quickly remedy this? And that's what did not happen, because Shaka, you made it. Not only did y'all make it known, we'll put it like this: number one, she should have never brought him back, right? This goes to what happened last night with Sister Nova, right? I even said this when I was around when she went ham on Sarnetta and them on her channel, where he said her and the Pa was on the phone and they was lying on her, talking about her private parts was this and that, and she went on a rant on her. I used to go over there and listen to her a lot, and she used to talk about her book and child predators and all that, and she had one guy she was going in on who was a sexual predator, and then after she talked about that, then she said, yeah, you know, Sarnetta and them was on there, had me on three-way, and the partner kept saying this, and I never said nothing sexual, and she really was upset about that, and they was running with it. But then she went back over there, right? And then you left again, and I mentioned that when she came over there to Queen's Throne. I said something about that to Shaka, and I said, yo, you know, I ain't really feeling that, because I see how this stuff goes. I've seen this many times before. And Shaka, being who he is, was like, you know, let's give her the benefit of the doubt, you know. And look what happened. She allowed Sarnetta to put a battery in her back to go over there and be a mouthpiece and try to create dissension about somebody that he did not give her the full facts on. And she said herself, she even heard that didn't even happen the way it happened. And she knows Sarnetta records. So the whole thing was, if she really wanted to feel the need to understand what happened with Suge, that could have been done on a behind the scenes, because that's a personal thing. Anything that Sarnetta's getting in, claiming he really cares about child pornography and all this other stuff, and child pedophilia, that would conversation should have never been taken like it was serious, because it wasn't. All right, all that was him using her as a pawn, like he did everybody else, and everybody seen that last night with Sister Nova, and even with this last thing you playing, that she again Sarnetta used Neo X as he do everybody else. And what they have to do is they have to look at themselves. And I was telling Geely this the other day, when you're talking about mercy and forgiveness and spirituality, you have people, a lot of people don't analyze it the way I analyze it based upon my studies and spirituality. You have people who have spirits that can control other people's spirits that control the person. So whenever you got somebody like Sarnetta who can continuously go from person to person after he disrespects them, and then they allow him back, that's a spiritual thing, because consciously and logically they should have never even re-engaged with that guy. But because they end up doing it anyway, and then end up being victimized, they then don't understand how to deal with that. Like, why did I go through this again? Makes no sense. But this is what I wanted to parlay into. You have something to do, Mr. Bennett, or can I go?
No, I'm following you, and you're right on. I was just saying, my thoughts were just that you understood the first thing you said when you came on. Where my response was that you were being engaged, and what's the first word I used? The first word was, I forget. Not just engaged, but in other words, you were very aware. When we were talking about how we treat each other and maintaining the maintaining the
friendship.
Maintenance of the friendship, right? Attentive. See, you were being attentive when you said that to Shaka. I hope I wasn't I didn't offend you or something. You were being attentive and engaged in your friendship. That's what I meant. And this is and you get the point. You get the point 100%, brother. This is just maintenance of a friendship. And this should be allyship 101. You see? Common decency and respect. You know, I would never want to malign you. All of a sudden, somebody shouldn't be able to just, you shouldn't wake up one day and then find out that the person that's been coming after and attacking you is just up on V. Bennett's panel and just ranting for an hour about tar. What is this? You see what I'm saying? Like,
and again, he, like you said, y'all both being in the now, plus myself. See, that's also, it magnifies the awareness because we all within this battle between right and wrong, and her included. You understand? Peace Storm. So all of that should make you realize, okay, if we in an active battle, there's no way in the world you should allow y'all unified opposition to come into your house, right, after you done been attacked, right, and other people been attacked. Then you got two of your compadres on standby who trying to get into the castle because we think this, we like, how did this dude get in here? Right? You letting the enemy come in, and it ain't even peace talks, it's trash talking. And then to justify and say, well, the reason why I ain't let you up because he didn't say anything new. That ain't the point.
The wolf is gonna come in the chicken house and eat chickens. What else you need to know?
The point was he was in there and y'all was not there and allowed to defend yourselves, and it was no excuse. It'd be different if y'all was like, yo, I can't get to a computer or something to get on. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. But all these are precautions of things that should have never happened unless this was the first time this happened. And y'all, it just happened. You thought he was coming on some whatever. Oh, I never heard of this dude. And he was on her show. And then he started going in. But you can't even do any of that because the violator is the violator. And the fact that he's there and she don't realize that we all are each other's protector and each other's keeper. The fact that she need to understand that she allowed her own enemy into her house and disrespected her compadres and caused her to lose her support system. Yes. Now you alone and you afraid, but you don't want to tell people I messed up and I lost two good compadres for somebody that don't like none of us. See, what she's going through now is a tower moment, and she have to realize this is one of those teaching moments of wisdom, because now you have to realize you need to be solid on what you say you stand on, because she tried to put that on y'all. No, if you believe in advocacy and what happened to you, and that this person you let in does not care about what happened to you, you the one should look at that. Because if you stood on advocacy just off a personal note, you shouldn't have let that guy in there. But again, like you said, projection, and made it look like it was y'all responsibility, that y'all should have stood there, what y'all did for y'all reasons to defend yourself. She didn't allow you in. She really was talking about herself. She didn't stand on what she believed in, and therefore she failed herself, and she failed y'all friendship and what the camaraderie.
Right, because Tar, not to interrupt you, but just to add on to this, rationally speaking, energy, how you build up energy, right, how you build up force, right? Kinetic energy, right? Energy in action, right? Trust allows the kinetic energy to build. Right. See, whenever you have distrust, that stops the energy from flowing. it stops it. It creates it creates some pushback, and so it's like self-defeating. You see, so knowing people's, you're not going to know what people's intentions are, but it's not always necessary if everybody comes with a hand raised in peace. You see what I mean? If everybody comes to the table with a hand raised in peace, then everybody's got an equal chance at coming out of that meeting and whole. That's how you get things done. But in this case, somebody was allowed to have their hands on their pistols.
Right.
And the other two people had their hands tied. It's like, that makes no sense. So if you want to get trust back from that situation and you're still trying to explain how that was right, that makes no sense. It's much easier if I maintain my relationship with you, because we don't know where this could build to. We don't know anything, Tar. We only know what people present ourselves. I don't know you. It could be you sitting back thinking something that I don't even know. Like, you know what? There's something about V. Bennett I like. There's some things he does that I like, but I'm not really sure if I should even mention to him yet, because, you know, I've had different situations with different people and didn't work out. And you could be thinking that, and you have every right to think that. I could be thinking that too. I mean, we're not all here for no reason at all. There's people in the chat that do the same thing. They say, you know what? I like what they're doing. I want to support them, but let me take a good look before I just support anybody, because you see how things happen all the time. So let me take a good look. And when you win people's trust and you throw it away just for something as simple as this, as stupid as this, you have to start all over again. And I'm just saying, I ain't doing it, which is why I respect people. You see what I mean?
Right. You don't want to start over. And that's what you was telling her. And and one of the most beautiful things you said is that she can't describe another person's feelings. And I took that as at the same time, she can't set the bar. Anybody, not just her. You can't set the bar of how much a person should be able to take. She felt y'all shouldn't have cut her off based on what she did. That's what you showing, is that y'all have because of what we've been through, our cutoff game becomes stronger and more precise, and like you said, less abusive as possible, because you done had prior experiences. And so now you see something about Sarnetta. He's all those type of abusers, and the fact that she allows herself, and it's the same thing with Sister Noble, allows herself to re-enter proximity with a person like that after y'all been bit more than once. That means y'all don't understand the level of abuse and self-worth that you should be having, and boundaries, and that you should have never went back after the first time and kept it pushing. So she allowed herself to believe that y'all ability to accept that abuse should be up there with hers, and that's not right. You said, this is the thing, you said, I cut you off for my self-preservation, for what was best for me. See, that right there is what people don't understand, and she don't realize she allowed her naiveness, that's what I'm gonna call that, her naiveness, to allow her to be cut from the fold. This is a war. She allowed Sarnetta to cause her to lose. She didn't gain nothing out of that. Like Shaka said, what was you waiting on? How long was we supposed to let him keep disrespecting? So again, let's turn the tables. She told Shaka, she said, name one thing when y'all, you know, that he said that was new, that you think I should allow him to stop me, interrupt him. And you have to reverse the same thing. What new things you was gonna get by bringing him back over there? He ain't say nothing new.
Exactly.
So you see what I'm saying? So when we don't know how to flip the mirror on both sides, that's when it becomes a problem. You have to, like they say, another great saying is, you know, until you walk the mile in somebody else's shoes, or look at it from their perspective. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself in y'all's shoes and how it felt. The same way she was hollering victim, like, listen, look what happened to me. Then she started, saying, like, I felt like, if y'all was really up on what I was saying or being an advocate, y'all would have had my back. But y'all was saying the same thing. But in the friendship standpoint, if we were friends against this foolishness, why did you leave us out in the cold? See, so that goes back to no accountability, and she have to stop playing the victim in this case, because this ain't about going against child harm and all that. This is about friendship, early friendship, fragile friendship. It's like a newborn being born. You have to protect that. That's what it was about. It was about basic, don't do me like that because you wouldn't want me to do you like that. That's when I said, yo, this title of the show was golden, because it covers, that's what we call in Noon Science, that's a blanket law right there. You can go anywhere with people who's intelligent enough will be able to say the same thing. You can walk into a restaurant and flip the tables. Any restaurant in the world, if it ain't a barbarian type spot, will say, why did you come in here and flip my tables? You will go anywhere in the world and flip somebody's table in their house in a restaurant, they all gonna get mad and upset. You gonna get, I can go anywhere, even with nature. I can go anywhere on the planet where there's a beehive or a waltz hive, and mess with that beehive or the waltz hive. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna get attacked. That's universal. So it's certain things that is universal, and a lot of times people don't understand that. So she need to understand that, yes, you were a victim, right? But it doesn't give you the universal understanding when it comes to protecting yourself with your friends. Because what's one thing you should always look for, when people get attacked in mad ways and it's a traumatizing thing, guess what? A lot of times it happens when there was nobody around. So when you find people like us, you're supposed to nurture those friendships so they can turn into like, oh man, me and Shaka and Bennett is like family. Me and Andrea is like family. Why? Because we nurtured things from the beginning and we protected each other like a bird would protect her eggs, like an eagle would protect their eggs. And we have to do that. And she failed into do that. It doesn't mean she can't pick herself up and try again. But like Bennett said, after all of the levels you go to build up something, like they say, you can be, it could take you 20 years to build up your what's the word I'm looking for? Your reputation, and do one thing and it's gone in 1 hour.
And I've seen it, talk.
Right.
I mean, I've seen that,
Yeah, I don't want to do that again. So guess what? If I don't want to start from ground zero, if it took me all of my war and battles to get to this point to meet y'all and then stick in y'all presence and to show you my valuableness by giving my wisdom and giving y'all my background information, giving y'all paperwork and documentations and my experiences, that's me showing you that I'm trustworthy and I'm valuable and that my name is just as good as gold on these YouTube streets. That's why. And I told Shaka this all the time. I said, this is why I roll by myself, because I haven't seen people stand alone. In my science, we have something that says, Afro said, you must learn to exist like a sun, right? And we all have to learn how to do that. Be a star. A sun depends on no one, but gives its light to all. You understand? And a lot of people have not reached that state of being a star. You understand? Some people are still satellites and they still have to depend on rotating around the planet. They ain't even reached planetary status yet. So this is what you see. Some of them ain't even satellites. Some of these people are asteroids. They ain't even comets. At least a comet can go in a trajectory every so many decades. These people are rogue asteroids or debris that are going all in and out, and you can't count on them. You see? And that's what she need to understand. We all start out as asteroids. And eventually we go through that till you end up being a star. And then guess what? If somebody in the darkness, guess what? I seen y'all light because y'all are stars. That's why we could see each other. We was far away. I didn't know Shaka as the person who he is, but I seen his light through Afro Styles. All those years ago, since 2008, I never knew who he was, but his light shined for so many years. And when I actually got close enough to see the sun, then he said, my name is such. I like, yo, I know you. See, that's the beautiful thing about reaching this. So we all gonna fall short, and I'm not gonna throw dirt on the sister because I know it's pain underneath that. And
exactly. True.
And I know it's hard for her to have to be around men, and she was taken advantage of by men. I understand that. And see, this is wisdom talking, and I have to look at it from both sides. And guess what? One of the things we have to do, like they say, because I listen to a lot of tarot, right? And one of the great sayings that they have in tarot is you have to teach people how to treat you. And sometimes they have to learn that in your absence. Because guess what? You know you're a star. You know you mean something. You put in the work to mean something, and they didn't recognize your light. They didn't recognize. Guess what? I'm sorry that it happened to you. You understand? So now you have to learn another valuable lesson because you didn't understand that you did some things that cost you, and you have to pay the price. After that, maybe you might be to come back. I can't speak for y'all.
Right.
But you have to protect yourself. Anybody want to say something else?
Nah,
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Go ahead, Shaka.
Yeah, indeed. And what Tara said is important. Like, you understand this pain, and I told the sister that, you know, I did not call her name. For less than that, I went off on people. You know what I'm saying? Like Garfield, when I was put on hold for 40 minutes, and Reggie was allowed to be sleek, and that Batisham did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I went in like crazy, but I know some of the things that she had to endure. And plus, really, I don't like to go in on people that I was cool with. You know what I'm saying? Because I was telling that off the air to V. Bennett. Brother Reggie told me F you several times. I let it slide. But then he continued talking about I'm not a Captain Several. I was like, all right. When Arm told me Frenchy first, I was like, oh, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't go in all the way. When Smash was salty because I disagreed with him on some scholarship, he was in the chat. They were me a clown, a French ass, N-word and all that. When he got on the panel side, I don't understand. I'm a clown or whatever, and we spoke. But then he took it up a notch, talking about xenophobia and stuff like that, and I still ask him. I mean, so our bad character. I mean, people can see I really don't like going back and forth with people I used to be cool with. But like it was said, you know, she knew the dude, she knew the beast, the animal. She had issues with him. The dude is an enabler. He is the physical representation of what she fights against. You know what I'm saying? And out of all people on the planet Earth, that's the dude that has the green light to go to F in on me, and she knows what he said about my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And the sad thing is that after all this, she's trying to project that on V. Bennett and I. So you know what I'm saying? I just hope that, you know, she does well in her life. But like I told her, it's not me being salty or mad. I cannot trust her. I distrust other people for less than that. You see? So hopefully, you know, she will do her thing and be prosperous. But you know, I mean, come on, like Tal said, this is a war for real. This is a war for real. You know what I'm saying? But you have enjoyed being. How you doing, sister?
Hi, Tara. That was an excellent breakdown of, to me, this whole situation. You know, all of us are knowing each other through the internet. I came upon Shark about a year ago, and just started what he was saying when I saw Mont Forever. I didn't have no idea what it meant to him, but this is something that we're building. I mean, and we're building based upon this child molestation. You know, but at the same time, when you look at his history, then you can go back and see what he's been saying and doing all this time. I mean, they don't know me. I'm not on social media, so I have to present myself in a manner they can hear what I'm saying and agree or disagree or whatever.
but I understand what he's doing, and this is paramount. We have to really understand this is not just about your platform. It really is about how you, because you give out, right? You know, they say if you can't take it, don't dish it, right? And all that stuff comes back to you. We have to be careful of how we say a thing, because people say, well, if you say it right, well, sometimes you can say it with sugar on it and people are still going to take it wrong, right? So it's not so much even that, it's how you are thinking in your head that causes you to receive something in the wrong way. I didn't hear anything that V. Bennett said in talking back with Neil X. I didn't hear anything that he said in any attack form towards her or anything like that. Didn't hear it in Shaka's video clip. He didn't say anything. I didn't hear anything derogatory. But when you already built that way, right, and that's how your mindset is, you assume that somebody is attacking you personally, which that never happened. I didn't hear it. And it was, if somebody else heard it, then maybe, but I didn't hear that. So I'm hoping as time goes on that she does realize that we do have to sit back and take a look at ourselves, and you know, when people say something about you, might want to look at it a little bit, sit back and take a look at it, because if there's more than one person saying it, then you might want to take a look at it and reevaluate how you process the information that you're hearing that people are saying. I mean, I don't think it should be done all the time, because, you know, too much times when you introspect, you want to blame yourself first, and you might not have done anything wrong. And we shouldn't do that, and take the time to do that, because that's what helps us grow and become better people. But this right here, this particular thing that's going on is kind of like way out of, I mean, those comments that keep being made over and over and over are way out of bounds. It doesn't even stick to the subject of anything. It's just about how much can I insult somebody and how long can I keep doing that. And if it's not cut off, it's going to continue to be said over and over and over again, and that is not where we should be going. I mean, verbal abuse is just as, some people can't handle that. And so when you hear somebody trying to verbally abuse somebody else, even though she might have said, you know, stop talking about his daughter like that, but you still allowed him to stay out there way too long to bring it up again, right? Once he started the first time, okay, stop. But if you don't put an end to it, that's where it comes back again and over. And I'm like, V. Ben, I don't want to hear it again. Deuces, bye. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to your soul or your mind to be constantly hearing those types of words and constantly being called a ninja and all. Who wants to hear that all the time? It's just crazy. It's crazy. I don't need 5 hours. I don't need 5 minutes. In the first 5 minutes you start going out, deuces. I got better things than be thinking about what you said, right? I'm good. Yeah, you're good. I love that.
And you know, not to cut you off, sister, but you can't deal with different. You know, Black people are not just like one simple group. We're a lot of different groups of people put together. I mean, Tar's from a certain part of the country. I'm from another part of the country. You're from another. Well, actually, I shouldn't assume that, but I'm just guessing we are, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine, because I've asked these questions before. We ask sometimes, where are we from, right? And so we have to have some sort of neutralness to us if we're a people. You know what I'm saying? And that means the neutralness means, hey, I need to come with some common level of respect if we are to expect things work and we're to expect things go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like with me, this is something that recently, you know, a year and a half ago, I resigned from my job. I was there for 18 years. And I didn't like what my boss did to me, so I resigned. People like, are you crazy? What did you do that for? Can't understand that. No, what I'm not going to do is take an insult, because not only did you insult me personally, but the insult went out through the company, right? And you're not going to do that. You know, you got a one and done. You don't get an opportunity to do it again. And nobody could understand why I did that. But now I'm hearing all kinds of stuff since I'm gone. Right, Andrea, Andrea, yeah, okay. Okay, self-preservation, I got out. Y'all continue to allow him to abuse you. That wasn't going to be an option for me. One and done. That's it.
I'm not. What Tar said, know your value. And that's really as center as it gets.
Yeah.
I know my value. Shaka knows his value. And we know damn well we don't have to put up with that.
and one of the guys asked me, why didn't you talk to me first? I said, because I wasn't going to allow you to try to talk me out of it. Because that's what you would have done. And I said, you weren't going to give that. I wasn't going to give you that opportunity to do that either. That's why I didn't come to you. So, I mean, it's true. All this stuff, if you know who you are and you value who you are, you don't let anybody just say anything and do anything because they think they can say and do it. I agree with you. I agree with y'all on all that.
Divinely inspired. What's up, bro? You here?
What's up, people? What's up? What's up, man? You know.
Hey, what's up, brother?
True
We
peace.
on our daily reaction.
You know, and you know what really shocked me was that I remember that that live stream of Neo X's, and I'm like, well, when the hell is she gonna let Shaka get up there? And he came out with the filthy, nasty shit. F him, F this, F that. And it's like, okay. But after a while, it's like, was this a plan? Was this set up here like this? Was this intentional? You know? And she reminds me of Judah Natzara. Judah can curse Shai, wish death on him and everything, and on Sai. And next thing you know, Sai's on the panel telling him what to do and calling him all kinds of you ain't no real Hebrew or whatever. You know, we definitely have to stop enabling this filthy piece of shit. His disgusting ways. I mean, he's an abuser. That's it. He represents abuse. That's it. He'll do anything. He'll say anything to get his way. And I know he's feeling a lot of heat. He must be feeling it. Like he's losing it. So he wants to put Shaka's personal information up, like how he did SETI. That was his boy, right? And the thing is that, you know, once you get to that point, you know, it's like all bets are off. And he's wishing harm on Shaka. And not only doing that, but it's Shaka's family too. Right? Because we gonna put somebody's address up. I don't live by myself. You understand? So it's really a sick thing that he's doing. And he's desperate and he's just fucking disgusting. You know? And like what Tar said, some motherfuckers are just goddamn debris. And that's what he is. He's debris. But he's waiting to catch on, you know, hitch a ride on a comet. He's waiting because he can't do it himself. That's how weak he is, though. So the people that he puts around him are the ones that empower him to be the way he is. You know? And if people lay down and let him, the more powerful he gets. The more, you see what I'm saying? Because he keeps on using people. And when you set up to that use, to that abuse, all of a sudden you're public enemy number one, and your information is going to get out there, and he's going to do stupid memes and all kinds of other shit. He's going to gaslight, and he's going to do all kinds of other shit to make people turn against you.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the thing is, you know, like Tar was saying, you know, you can build up your reputation, and one thing will take you